to on this computer. We're recording. How cool is that? That was so easy. Click of a button. So sorry we missed our opening prayer, but next week I'll be ready for it. But we do have a few announcements, not a lot, which is kind of nice because I know sometimes we can get bogged down with those. But announcement number one is just where we stand in our, we wanted to grow our unit by 10 this month, and we have added 2 to our numbers so far this month, which is really exciting. So we only have 8 to go. And I know, honestly, it's a teamwork kind of thing. Not one person is able to do, well, I mean, you might have an amazing month where you have 8 people. Most of the time, it's not going to be just one person getting 8 people, but a really easy way to do that that's not going to take up a lot of your extra time is to invite people to the coffee and conversations. We do it every Monday at 7:15. Every once in a while, we'll have a Monday where we don't for a specific reason, but generally speaking, you can count on Mondays at 7:15. And if we don't have a coffee and conversations one Monday, just let me know if you have someone that you want to share with, and we'll just find a different time. And really, it's sharing. We are not Scary K. We're not trying to talk people into doing something they don't want to do and, stalking them and all the things. So don't overthink it. We're just asking them if they'll listen. Sometimes I offer a lip gloss. Sometimes I just say, hey, I am doing my best to be consistent and ask 5 women to listen to the opportunity this week. Would you be one of my 5? And then I maybe do a drawing from those 5 people and one of them wins a lip gloss. That's a great way to save yourself a little product, but also get to share the opportunity consistently with people. So that's something that I would just, think that through. If you're having a hard time with sharing, don't know what to say, or you are trying to share and not getting responses back, if any of that is happening for you, just reach out to me, because I promise you, if you're having it happen, I have had it happen too, because I've been sharing for a little while now. So I've done any crazy thing you can think of. I've probably been there. And if I haven't, my mom probably has, because she's been doing this about as long as I have. So if ever you need just backup, or you just need to share and be like, this person told me they couldn't because of this wild reason, we should just have a Zoom meeting sometimes for the wild reasons people can't host a party or share whatever. It is amazing. Or I'm like, okay, you could just say no, thank you. You don't have to be crazy. So anyway, if you are working on sharing and it's not going great, or you just want some tips, just let me know and I'd be happy to share. And then the other thing is our production. We have a goal of doing 12,000 this month, which is a huge goal, but we're doing really well. We just crossed to a third of the goal. So we just crossed over 4,000 today, which is really impressive because we don't have anyone new that's ordered yet in our unit. And a lot of times those bigger production goals happen when someone's starting with their initial inventory, because they're going to need to order more than you or I who've been in for a little while. So that is really impressive. That just shows me that our unit is a strong unit where we're selling, because I never want people to just stockpile product and have a bunch of products sitting on your shelf, because that's not helping you, certainly not helping your family financially. So I'm really just proud of you ladies for selling consistently, because that's what we're supposed to do. That's what a business owner does. They sell, they order to replace what they sold, they sell, they send it out. So that's what I'm looking for. And I'm just seeing a lot of that. And let me just say, we have a lot of igniters this month. And I know the night is not over. We have a couple hours left. I plan to be an igniter and I haven't finished my order yet. So if you too are I'm not there yet, but I'm planning to be, me too. So that is okay. But those are just our couple of announcements, nothing too crazy. If you enrolled customers in PCP, they should be getting their magazines soon, if not already. Has anyone gotten theirs yet from the company? I haven't either. So I've been seeing these announcements that we can go ahead and reach out, but I'm trying to wait until I get mine, because I feel like if I'm getting mine, that's when I know for sure. But sometime in this week, you should get yours in the mail. If you enroll them, you're automatically enrolled yourself. So that's how you can know, which is nice, because sometimes it's wait, I don't know if I'm getting one, but you will be if you enrolled your customers. And that's when I reach out, and there should be a sample in there. Sometimes they sell out of the ones with samples. If that happens, I just try to figure out what the sample was and maybe do a DIY sample, or give them free shipping on their next order, something like that, to try to, still show them how valuable they are to me as a customer, just as an idea. So at this time, I'm going to turn it over to Amanda. She graciously agreed to do our career path recognition tonight. So one of my favorite things about doing our meetings with just us is that there's a lot more room for you guys to be part of the meeting, because we don't have as many people on here. So I'm really excited each week to be asking different people to be part of it. And I try to ask those that are consistently showing up, because I feel like that's a great way to honor your commitment of time to this meeting. So if I didn't ask you this week, just stay tuned. It'll probably come up in the near future. But anyway, this time, Amanda, if you can unmute and share, that would be great.
All right. Hey, guys. We're excited to do the career path recognition tonight. So to start off, I'd like to introduce the independent beauty consultants who don't yet have their first teammate. Can you guys wave at us? All right, I'm going through the screens. Hi, Tracy. Okay, so there's anybody else? Rebecca. Okay, perfect. Awesome. So happy to have you guys. Okay, the next one is senior consultants who have 1 to 2 active team members on their team. Can you guys wave at us? Let's see here. I'm going through. Okay, hey, Mindy, yay. All right, awesome. It's so different with our smaller unit, but I love it. Okay, the third one, these are the star recruiters or team builders who have 3 to 4 active team members on their team. So I'm one of them. Anybody else? Yay. Okay. All right, we're going through this quickly tonight. Let's see here. And then the next one is team leaders. These are
I'm sorry, I'm going to interrupt you real quick. Can you share with us one thing you love about your business? I always like to feature our team builders because you've worked hard, girlfriend.
Sorry, get that. Okay, so what do I love about my business this week? I love that I can work from home because, as you can see, here she is. She's right there. Adeline's always with me. And, you know, with this stage of life right now, it'd be so hard for me to be going out and having all these appointments in person. I'd love it. But with her, I love that I can have a party on my phone, you know what I mean? And she's sleeping or whatever. So I just love that about this business. It can be virtual, in person, whatever. So that's my favorite thing this week. All right. And then the next one are team leaders who have 5 to 7 active team members. Okay, let's see. Is there anyone on right now? Let's see here. Okay, I don't see anyone quite for that. So positions are open. Let's see here. Adeline's taking the sheet for me. Let's see. The next one, elite team leaders with 8 or more active team members. Let's see here. Okay, looking through. And then the last one is our DIQs. So I know we have one on here. Let's see. Can you unmute Amy? Oh, audio problem. Do you want to just type in the chat what you love about your MK life? That would be perfect. And then I think that's
that was perfect. And I know
so congratulations, guys. I'm happy. Oh.
Perfect. I know a lot of people are going to have a little trouble with their power tonight, possibly because of all the ice and the rain and stuff. So if ever there's a night where we might have a little more trouble than usual, it's probably tonight. And I know where my mom lives, it gets really, really windy. So sometimes that can be an issue. So hopefully she'll be able to hop on in a little while, but she'll put it in the chat if she can. But I am so excited all of you are here tonight. And next I have Mindy on my list, and Mindy agreed to do our recognition for those that have like been selling and things like that this week. And she said that she might have a little bit of trouble with her power tonight. So, oh, I see my mom is back. So actually I'm gonna put that on hold for a second. Is your audio working for you now, Mom?
Yes, I think so. It was connected to my car and I got home and it wouldn't unconnect from my car or give me any way to figure out how to do that.
Perfect. Well, if you want to share what you love about your MK life, we would love to hear it.
I love that on a day off, I can, from my regular job, I can do a little extra MK stuff. And that I love being with you ladies so much that I was rushing my dental hygienist so I wouldn't be late for my Mary Kay meeting.
I feel like maybe the priority is there, as long as they did a good job. How are you feeling right now? Is your mouth good?
I'm a little numb and I'm going to be getting a root canal, but other than that, we're fine.
Well, that, you know, maybe don't rush them quite as much next time. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm glad that you were able to come and, you know, kind of be able to do a little bit more of what you love to do on your day off. So that is fantastic. Yes. Okay, now I'm going to turn it over to Mindy. And if she has any trouble with her power or can't see it, I'm going to like kind of be here in the background to help out. So go ahead, Mindy.
Hey, happy Monday, everyone. As you can see, I still have lights. Hopefully it's going to stay that way tonight, right, Janine? Okay, Whitney asked me to recognize some Grand Day achievers. If you are a Grand Day, and I know we had a lot on there because I've seen them on Facebook. So listen, I'm doing this on my phone, so Whitney's going to help me. But if you were a Grand Day achiever this week, that would be week February 7th through the 13th. Wave at me. Amanda.
Yeah. Oh, we have a couple. I see Amanda, I see Janine, and then
Amy.
yeah.
Amy, you were, weren't you?
Yes. There she is.
Okay. Okay. Oh, and Tracy. Okay, Tracy too. Yay for all of you. Way to go. I know that's really encouraging when you get that grand day. I know I woke up to one, so I love that even better. So,
Real
okay.
quick, I have a question for you, Mindy. How did you just like wake up to a grand day? Because that's not happening to all of us.
Yeah, I have this awesome customer, and I was posting on my page the specials of the 14-day thing. And I think they just saw some of that, even though I don't think they ordered anything from that, which is fine. But they have the stuff they love, and it was time to order, and it was over $100. So fine by me.
That's the best. I have had a handful of times where I just look down at my phone, and I have a text, and it's like, oh, that's a nice order right there. So that's a really nice feeling.
It really is. Yeah.
Okay, I'll stop interrupting now.
So we need to see who our queen of sales was. Again, Whitney, you have to help me with this. I know all of you had at least $100. So let's jump it up maybe to $200 this week. Anybody?
I see Amanda.
Amanda?
That's so exciting. And then if anybody else can't have their video on but did, you can put it in the comments. I know we've got a little bit of that. I saw Amanda for sure.
200. Anybody else, Whitney? I didn't see anyone else.
Anyone else?
Okay. So do we make her the queen of sales, or does it have to be 300?
Well, we'll have to ask and see how much she did, and then we'll find out if she's our for sure queen or not.
Amanda, unmute and tell us what your grand total was.
518 for the
Yeah, yay! Yeah, she's definitely our queen of sales this week. Way to go, Amanda. How many parties did you have?
Thank you. I had a Valentine's Day party on Wednesday night, and then just another party on Friday night, and I sold a couple of the clinical solution sets. So I was really excited about that. So yay.
Did you get any surprise sales coming in like I did, like the next morning?
I went, I guess that kind of was a surprise sale because the lady didn't even come to the party, but she was like, hey, what is all this retinol about? I want to do that. And I was like, oh, okay. But it wasn't like what you got. So yeah, wake up to it. That's really cool. But
yeah.
So
way to go, Amanda. Way to go. Okay. So I think we move on to our igniters now. You can join us, and I actually am an igniter, and I want to show you. Can you see this? I have them, and they say they're so cute. They say, thank you for supporting my business. So love to have them. Love for you guys to get them. So you have to order 300 by today. So who's going to join us there? Who's going to join us? Whitney's going to join us. Okay. Again, I can't see everyone. I'm sorry. So,
no,
all right.
My mom is waving. If you're already an igniter, because I know we have several who've already finished that. Who on here? Oh, that's fantastic. I see Rebecca, my mom,
Janine.
Amanda. I don't think Janine sent it yet, but I know it was in the wind.
Oh,
there's
okay. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay.
No, that's okay. I feel like really, are we ever sad when we get recognized? I don't think so. I love it. And if your stickers haven't gotten to you yet, they're in the mail. That is my favorite part of sending you guys Amazon prizes. They get to you like 600 times faster than when I send them from my shelf. So my promise to you is that I will forever try to send your prizes through Amazon because I'm real bad at sending it from my house. You know this from experience if you've gotten prizes from me both ways. Okay, continue.
All right. Then they want to recognize anyone who did a share this week. Would you wave? Who is it, Whitney? Janine, yay!
Yes,
I got you.
Janine waving. I see my mom waving. Wonderful. Congratulations, ladies.
Way to go. Okay, and here's the big thing. Did anybody recruit a new team member this week? Come on, ladies. Yes, Amy.
Yes, there she is. It's so exciting.
Amy, can you unmute and tell us, did you have more than one this week? I was thinking maybe you did.
You know, no, I didn't. I had a lot of shares this week. I don't know how many, maybe 4 or 5 shares this week, but I have one new team member, and I will not be surprised if I don't have a few more in the next few days. So I'm excited about that.
Well, you got those no's, but you know what? That means you're due some yeses. So
That's right.
that's right, Amy. Keep going. All right. Okay, everybody, let's get busy and get those new team members. We want some new team members, and make sure you get those stickers tonight by being your igniter. I think I'm done, Whitney.
Okay, no, that was perfect. Thank you, Mindy. That was so great. I think that's the first time Mindy's gotten to do that portion of our meeting, and I think she did a great job, and Amanda did a great job with the career path. So this is really, really fun. I remember in-person meetings, you know, back in the day, where I would go and I would get to have these portions. I remember the first time I did it, I was like so nervous. And then each time you do it, it gets a little bit easier. I still say the wrong thing sometimes, but the beautiful thing about Mary Kay is that no one really cares here. We're all just friends and no one's real worried about it. It's not like a business meeting where you're in front of your peers and it's like, oh, well, I just lost my bonus or anything like that. So it's a very safe place to make a mistake or get it perfect. Either way, we're going to be excited for you, which is beautiful. So thank you so much. Okay, I wanted to give a few tips on parties. Because we are doing a great job with our 50 party challenge. I have been really impressed. Last I checked, we're at 21 out of 50 parties this month. And a party is anytime you have 4 people active. So there's a couple different ways you can do parties, which I think is really nice. You can have a hostess. So you can, ask customer, friend, family member, someone to host a party for you on Facebook, or maybe one of the texting parties. That's right, Tracy, perfectly imperfect. I love that. That probably describes everyone. But when we're doing these parties, you can have a hostess, and as long as she has 3 people who are active in there with her, so 4 total, that counts as a party. So if there are 8 people in that party that are actively commenting, that counts as 2 parties, even though it happened at one time. And I remember I was really, really clear about that the first time we did this round of 50 parties, but I don't know that I've been super, super clear and like verbally said that. I think I said it in the comments on Facebook, but I just wanted to be clear on that. So sometimes that's how someone goes from 1 to 2 parties to 3 parties, even though it was all in one setting. So that's just one thing to keep in mind. And then the other way you can do a party is host one yourself. I did that on my customer page and it went really well. Here's a couple things that I did that I think really helped my party go well, because I have hosted my own parties before and they have been like real bad. Like no one showed up, nobody bought anything. So maybe you're like me and you've had both experiences. Let me tell you some things that I think really made a difference and mattered for how that party went, and maybe some of these will help you too. The first thing I did when I hosted my own party was I actually went in and privately messaged everyone in my group, in my Facebook group, to tell them it was coming, because I posted in the group, but not everybody sees it, or they see it, but it doesn't compute. Like I've done that on Facebook lots of times where I see a post and it didn't really, I'm just scrolling, so I didn't stop on it, so I wasn't really paying attention. So that's the first thing I did. And it wasn't like I reinvented the wheel and sent like a totally different message each time. I sent the same message basically to everyone. I would change it with like their name, or if there was something specific I knew about that one person, I might tweak it just a little bit for her. But for the most part, I sent the same message to everyone. And I didn't necessarily, let me see, I'm going to look it up and I will read to you exactly what I said, and then I'll post it in the Fearless unit so you don't have to write it down if you don't want to. But just to give you an idea, give me a second, I will look up what I sent. We'll look up what I sent to Vivian. Okay. Here's what I said. I said, hey, Vivian, and insert name here. I'm having a Galentine's party in the Beautifully You group. That's the name of my group, Beautifully You with Whitney, on Saturday at 6 p.m. CST. If you set an alarm to remind you of the party time and comment on the announcement section's post to let me know you have it set, you'll be entered to win a prize. The party is also a mystery hostess party, so any order $20 or more that you place will get you entered to win the hostess rewards. Hope you can be on there, and then some hearts. So I didn't necessarily frame it that they had to answer, but I will say it really woke people up. And there's a couple of things that I did that I think we could all start doing on any party. It doesn't even have to be a party we're hosting. I have started, instead of doing a giveaway before my party, like where we do the lip gloss giveaway, that's something I've done forever. But I feel like once I get bored of it, I think it comes across somehow. And I got a little bored of doing that. So what I'm doing now instead is when they set an alarm to remind them of the time of the party, that's going to be the giveaway instead of like a lip gloss or mascara giveaway. And I feel like it's more practical because they're setting an alarm to remind them of the party. And I mean, I don't say it, but if they set an alarm and they comment on the post that they set an alarm, but they don't show up to the party, I'm not putting them in the giveaway. So, I mean, you can do what you want with that, but I'm like, if you didn't even come, I mean, I don't feel like that's fair. So, and I had that happen. I had 3 people set alarms and then not come. And I thought, I don't think you understood what we're doing here. So no. But everybody else that did show up, they got entered. And I, what I do is I just say giveaway. That way I can give away whatever I want. It doesn't have to be lip gloss or mascara, because some of your customers and some of the people on there, they may not be excited about makeup. So saying just you're going to give away a prize also gives you that flexibility, because sometimes when we're in Messenger, I don't know if you've noticed this, but you'll tell someone they won something and they'll say, oh, I don't really wear makeup, or they'll say something like that. I always customize it. I want them to get a prize. So it might be that, oh, okay, well, we'll do a hand cream. It doesn't have to be something more expensive. It just needs to be something that they're excited about. Cause I'm like, that would be the worst, to be a guest at a party and then get a prize you didn't want. So I try to think about it from their perspective. So that's the first thing that I'm doing differently, is having them set that alarm. And I feel like that made a difference because people were showing up on time to the party. So that's the first thing you could start trying. And I saved that in my announcement about the party. I said, set an alarm and post a picture or comment below when you set it. And that's why I said go to the announcements section, because I saved it to the announcements before the party started. So that's the first thing. Second thing is, let's talk about mystery hostess parties. They don't all have to be this way. I only do it if I'm the hostess. Because if you have a hostess, she's going to be getting all the hostess rewards. But say you're hosting your own party. What I do, is anyone that orders at my party $20 or more, they get entered to win the hostess rewards. And I just do the normal hostess rewards like I would on any party. But that means that, like, if 5 of my customers order 20 or more, all of them get entered, and one of them will win the hostess rewards on that $100 total. Does that make sense? Yeah? Okay, good. And I found that got a really good response. It was my first time doing a mystery hostess party, but I found that everyone that ordered was doing at least $20 in their order. And I also offered that new cute, have you guys seen the headband with the bow on it from Mary Kay? It's brand new. I have been offering that as a gift with purchase for 40 or more. Everyone at my party ordered 40 or more. They were real excited about that headband. I have not always had that work out. I will tell you, I have offered gifts with purchases before that nobody was excited about. But on this particular one, they were excited about it. So, sometimes it's hit or miss. Your customers may not be as excited about this one. You never can tell. So I would say give it a go, see what happens. But I've had almost every order since I've announced those be 40 or more. And then if I had someone that ordered close to 40, I would just let them know and tell them, hey, it's no problem if you just want to get this, but I just want to let you know, if you add something that costs, $4 more, you'll get this headband. And then they'll say, oh, well, what do you have for $4? And I'll say, well, the closest thing I have are the eyeshadows, the Chroma Fusion eyeshadows. They're $8, but they're really pretty. Do you want me to, send you the link to my website? So I'm never going to make someone order, but I always want them, because wouldn't that, I just feel like as a customer, I would appreciate having the offer without feeling pressured, but also getting this really cool prize if I wanted it. So that's something that I try to do whenever someone's close to it. I offer free shipping on orders over 50. So I do the same thing. If someone's like close-ish to $50 in their order, I just say, hey, no problem if you don't want to add anything. I always lead with that because I never want them to feel like I'm just trying to get all their money, because it's easy to misconstrue things in the written word. Your voice can take a lot of that out, but if we're just texting or messaging, so I always lead with, hey, it's more than fine if you just want to keep the things that are already in there, but you're only, $10 away from free shipping. A lot of times they'll ask me, well, how much is shipping? And then I'll tell them, and they will confidently make a decision either way. But then I know I did what was right by them, whether it was they're paying shipping and they're comfortable with that, or they added one more product. So I feel like it really puts their best interest at heart and keeps you from feeling guilty about charging shipping, or, oh, should I have mentioned it to them? I just mention it. If they don't answer my message within like 24 hours, I just go ahead and send it the original way. But that's another tip I'd say for closing. So those are like 2 things that I've started doing that I think are helping a lot. And then let's talk about, okay, how many of you have noticed on that post towards the end of the party where it says, you know, book your own party, that it's like everyone was commenting. And when that post comes up, it's like they had an allergic reaction to your party and they can no longer participate. Have you guys noticed that? Isn't that wild? Every once in a while, I'll have someone who, yes, crickets. Every once in a while, I'll have someone who will jump on and be like, I'll host a party, but that is definitely the exception and not the rule. So, I mean, we can't control everything, but here's what I know. I've had a lot of people who will book a party with me in private messaging, even if they didn't comment in the party. I'm still going to ask. And I think it's that difference between, have you guys ever been on Facebook and everyone's on there and you see this post go by where it's like, hey, I'm looking for 5 people to try blah, 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 blah. And it has like maybe 2 likes and nobody's commented on it. It's because it's a mass invitation. Everybody wants to feel special and they don't feel special in a group invitation to host a party. But when I'm private messaging with them, asking what she loved about the party, hey, what's on your wish list? That makes me feel a lot more special when I know she thought of me, not of the group. And that I think makes a really big difference. So when you're private messaging with people, even if they didn't comment in the group that they want to host, just ask. They might say no, or they might say, let me think about it, or they might say yes. But until we've one-on-one asked them, I don't think we really know, because I get most of my bookings in those private messages. It's rare when I don't. I mean, it's not rare that I don't get them. It's rare when I get them just in that like broad message. So that's something to keep in mind. Same thing with sales. Have you noticed on that sales post, you're like, here's the party, and everyone's like, we can't see you, la, 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 la. Like they just can't do it. And it's not every party, but it's a lot of them. So what I do is, once again, it's all about those private messages. What I do, here's the first thing, I'm always tweaking what I'm saying. So if you are saying something in your private messages and it's not working, try something different. I mean, they say the definition of insanity is trying the same thing over and over, hoping for different results. I have been insane in my business before, for sure, where I've sent the same message and nobody cares about it. So let's, better ourselves by trying something different. So here's what I'm trying right now, and it seems to be working pretty well. I'll ask them, hey, thank you so much for hopping on and supporting, insert hostess's name here. Here's why. I want to remind them why they're at that party. They don't know me. I mean, they might know me, but they know her a little bit better. They're here to celebrate her. So I try to put the focus back on her. And I'll say, hey, thank you so much for hopping on and supporting Abigail. Did you have a favorite product or post that you saw? And then they might answer, they might not. I mean, we've all been there where it's like, they probably got that message, but they didn't really answer, so I don't know. So I'll ask what they liked most. And once they tell me, if they didn't tell me, I will usually message them again a few days later, but I'll come back to that. So once they tell me what they love, I'll say, oh my goodness, that's one of my favorite products. Let me think what I would say next. I would say something like, do you want me to get that sent your way to help Abigail get all of her hostess rewards? Bringing it back to Abigail, because they don't know me. They don't care about me. They don't care about my business. That's not to be harsh, but they don't know me. They know Abigail. So bring it back to Abigail. How are they supporting her? You're still going to have people say no, thank you, all of that. But I feel like that's a much better way to frame it, because the more it's about us, the less it's about them, the less likely they are to feel like you're not after just their money. And I will be the first to admit, I get down to business really quick. I'm not good at chit chat. It's not in my nature to chit chat. So I have to work at this whole just building that relationship part of it. I want to just, okay, what are we doing? Are we getting anything? Are you hosting? Great, moving on. That, I mean, if I'm on the receiving end of that, I don't feel very special. So really try to put yourselves in their shoes. Ask if they have any questions. If they say, well, I was thinking about this, but I just don't know, I'm sensitive, like my skin's sensitive or whatever, answer their questions. Keep up the conversation. The more you're chatting with them and answering their questions, the more likely they are to think, okay, she really does care about me. Because I really do care about them. I'm just to the point. So if this is you too, then work at this. Some of you are really, really good at connecting with people. This is not a problem for you. So this is for the people like me who are really to the point. We have to work at this a little bit. My friend, when I was working in an office, I used to send out emails, and she would always come over and she'd be like, hey, your tree looks really great, but let's just put on some like leaves and pretty branches. Because I was saying exactly what needed to be said, but it wasn't like, all the niceties that go with it. So add your branches, add your leaves, make it real pretty, all of those things. And that's when I'm asking for those sales. And, if they say, well, I really would love to order, but I can't right now, we don't have the finances, that's really normal. A lot of people are going through a hard time right now. That's a perfect opportunity to ask if they'd want to host a party. Um, I'm going to ask them anyway, but if they say that they don't have the money for it, but they'd like to get something, I'll say, well, hey, what would you think of hosting a party? You get a discount on your next order. And here's another reason we're bringing it back to Abigail because they're there for Abigail. And Abigail gets a gift when 2 of her friends book parties from this. So it still supports her because a lot of people aren't necessarily interested in even hosting their own party, but they might be interested in supporting their friend. So that's a great way to do it. And if they say, well, can I think about it? Of course they can think about it. But what happens sometimes is when they say, can I think about it? We say, oh, yeah, sure, just get back with me. They're not going to get back with you. It's not that they don't like you or they're mad at you. They're just going to forget because it's not their priority. So when someone says, hey, can I get back with you? I say, oh, absolutely. Would it be okay if I follow up in name a day? Because that way you've gotten permission to follow up and you're not going to feel, oh, should I message her? Should I not? It gives yourself permission so you don't feel awkward because I've been there where I haven't gotten permission and then a week later I'm going, ooh, do I message her? Has it been long enough? And I don't know. So I ask for permission. Sometimes they'll say, yes, it's a great day for me. Or they'll say, oh, I need a little bit longer. And I'll say, oh, perfect. I'll just move it over to, because they're probably not going to forget about me, but I'm not going to forget about it. This is my job. So that's a great way to answer that, especially like for sales. If they say, well, let me think about it, that's just fine. They can think about it, but we're probably going to close these parties. So, I usually keep mine open for a few extra days to make sure I'm getting everybody taken care of. I'll say, absolutely, you can think about it. The party's going to close on whatever day. I'll just make sure I follow up with you before that time. That way, they know it's coming. They're not surprised. And that helps me not feel like I'm being the Mary Kay stalker. Has anybody ever felt like quite sure, oh, do I not? So that just keeps you from having any of those questions in your mind. Oh, that's a good question, Tracy. Actually, for both, I would say in reference to sales and booking, I'm going to try to follow up, give myself permission to follow up either way, because leaving it up to chance is just, I don't know, it makes me feel sick in my stomach when I'm reaching out to someone that I don't know if I should be. So I would say that works for booking, for sales, and for sharing the opportunity. If they say not right now, get their permission to see if it's okay to share again, or if they're not right now really means not ever. That's okay too. But unless we know that, we don't know that because some people are too nice to say it. So we're helping them be definitive with us. I would much rather not share with the person a second time if I knew they didn't want me to, than to share again and have her think that I'm just trying to, talk her into something. So I almost feel relieved when they say, oh, no, I'm really not interested. I'd rather hear that. That helps me. It also takes a lot of work to sometimes get ourselves there because you don't want people to say no, thank you. But when you can see that as a gift of, I'm not going to feel sick in 2 weeks when I'm trying to figure out if I should follow up with her, that'll help your mental game a lot. It's helped me a lot. So those are just some tips for following up. I would just say expect people not to comment in the party for bookings or for sales. And when you know to expect that, it makes it a lot less stressful when they don't comment there. Just know it's going to happen. They always say the fortune is in the follow-up. So then what do you do when they don't answer? Because show of hands, how many of us have sent out the text, the message, and they didn't answer? That is the worst. Because you don't know if they didn't see it. You don't know if they intentionally didn't answer. You don't know. So what I do is I choose to assume the best. I call it the discipline of positivity because I am the first person to assume that they are blowing me off. I'm the first person to assume that. But I don't know that because I don't know. And I have been so guilty of not answering a message. I just get busy with other things and I forgot. So my first tip I would say is assume that they just forgot to answer. They're not blowing you off. Just assume that. You will sleep better at night if that's your assumption. I get that it may not be that, but we don't know. We don't know. We don't know. No answer is not a no. It's just a no answer. And that'll help you a lot. Oh, that is so true, Mom. Nancy loves this phrase. If you're going to make up a story in your head, make it a good one. So sometimes I will talk to myself and I'll say, wow, I bet her phone just fell in a lake and she can't use it anymore. And that's why she's not answering. You sometimes have to be really, that discipline of positivity is, it's going to come in. I have found that it helps me in other parts of my life as well, when I can use the discipline of assuming the best about people. maybe they're upset with you, but they're probably not. And even I will be honest, if I ever do get upset with someone for messaging me, I have forgotten about it about 5 seconds after I was upset. So even if, I mean, I know the worst case scenario for all of us is like, what if she's upset with me? Even if she is, she's probably going to be over it in about 5 seconds because that's how it works for us. And I think we all assume that everybody's being a little harder on us than we would ever be on someone else, probably because we are our own worst critics. So we assume that they are also our own worst critics, but they're more worried about the things going on in their life. You know, they're worried about their kid who is showing some symptoms and they don't know if they have like they've got other things going on. So don't worry that they're obsessed with you. The person that is the most obsessed with you is you. Same for me. I am the person that's worrying the most about that message. So if they don't answer, I just follow up. I'm going to assume that something crazy happened and they couldn't get back with me. And if you assume that, you'll feel a lot better. And I'll just follow up and I'll say, hey, I just wanted to follow up. I didn't know if you were able to see my last message. I know how busy things get. Haha. Is there anything? I add a haha because I really want them to know that I am not upset because I'm not. I chose not to be. And I really appreciate it when people are this nice to me when I forget to answer. Aren't you? When you like forget to answer and they're like, oh, no problem. I'm like, oh, good. Because I thought she was going to be like, yeah, you're the worst. So when we make sure they know we don't think they're the worst, it helps a lot. I'll say, oh, haha, I know how easy it is for a text to get buried. I just want to check in with you before Abigail's party closes and see if I could help you with anything. And I sometimes keep it that vague as help you with anything because I don't know what all they're interested in. Maybe they really did want to order, but they didn't know how to navigate my website, or they missed the link, or they just forgot that that party was even happening because they have 800 other things going on in their life. And this Mary Kay party was one of those 800. So that's my best tip on what do you do when they don't answer. And statistically, this blows my mind. And I've written it down and circled it before to help me not feel so like, oh, when people don't answer. Most people, sales happen, I'm going to get my numbers wrong, but it's a crazy amount of percentages. The percentage of people that make a sale on the first contact is like 2%. It's like nothing. Very few people. And if you think about that, if you think about the ads you see on TV, you see that ad about 10 times before you commit to anything, right? You don't think of it as different touches of that ad because it's just in the background. So it may be that it's not asking for the sale every time. It may be like, hey, Susie, just want to check in and see how you're doing today. That it just puts you in their mind. So it doesn't always have to be a sale or a booking attempt or whatever. But the more we stay in contact with people, the more likely they are to be able to make a decision. They say it is on the fifth, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the fifth contact that I think I'm probably a little off, but it's really close to this. 80% of sales are made on the fifth contact. You know who gives up on number 2 most of the time? That second contact, it's me, because I'm worried she's mad at me. I'm worried that she's upset that I would dare message her again. She's just busy. She's got other things going on. And you don't always have to ask for a sale. You don't always have to just ask her how she is. If you see something on Facebook, like maybe she's at a tournament with her kids, you could message her and just say, hey, I saw that, your son's in a soccer tournament. How's he doing? Connect with her in ways that aren't just about Mary Kay. Invite her to be on your Facebook page or Facebook group on Facebook. That doesn't cost her a dime. And, that's a great way to just stay in contact. So that's something that is personally one of my hardest things is following up with people that don't answer. But that's where all the fortune is in the follow-up. And when I'm not faithful to the follow-up, here's what I find. I find that I'm frustrated because I think nobody wants to buy anything and I don't know why. That's my go-to. My second is, oh, everybody's upset with me. I don't even want to do this anymore. I have said those words to myself. You don't have to raise your hand, but if you haven't thought that, I'd be surprised. And if you haven't, you probably will at some point. We all feel that way at some point. And the third thing I think is, I'm just not good at this. I've lost my touch and I get very woe is me. And, when we put our focus on us, we're probably not going to have a lot of, if I'm not positive, I don't become more positive by sitting in what I'm not positive about. I become more and more negative. So I need to get out of my own head. So that's when you reach out or reach up is what they always say. Reach up to your director, reach up to your, if you're in my mom's future unit, you can reach to her, you can reach to me, reach to someone who's ahead of you on the career path. And here's why. It's not that your peers are not good at this business. It's not you can't reach out to them, but someone who's maybe done a little bit more sharing or been in a little bit longer, they're going to have more stories. I mean, the stories I could share with you, you will feel better. You'll be like, wow, well, she's absolutely been through this and it didn't kill her. And, you know, sometimes you think it's going to, but it really doesn't. So those are just my best party tips. I feel like for prepping the party and for post party. If we're not doing the follow up, I really feel like it's kind of our responsibility if we didn't get the sales. And I don't like to do the follow up. I'll be the first one to say, I don't look forward to all the follow ups on Messenger. I don't know why. I don't have a solid reason for it, but I don't necessarily enjoy it. But that's part of my business. So I will set 30 minutes after every party where I'm just going to do the follow up. And I can't let myself out of it because that's not going to work. And then I'll make a little note. I have to spend like 10 minutes the next day doing more follow up with the people that didn't get back with me or the people that did, but we ran out of time, whatever it is. So just assume that you'll need to do follow up. And the last thing that I'm going to share tonight, and then I will let us go. We are doing so good on time. I'm so proud of us. The last thing is oh boy, did I lose my train of thought by saying that? That's what it is. Okay, it's back. What I do is I post in the party how many days are left of the party. I just went on Pinterest and I found this like 3 days left to party. So I post that in there and I say, hey, party's closing on Wednesday. Make sure you get your orders in if you're planning to, help support Abigail. And I put my link in the comments. And that way I'm announcing every few days how close, like every day until I close the party. And there's tons of graphics that you can find on Pinterest or whatever that say party extended. So if you're like, I don't feel like we're ready to just extend the party, no one's gonna be mad at you for doing that. You're in control of this. You can choose when it's done. And talk to your hostess. Say, hey, do you know of anyone that was, planning to order? Because she knows her friends better than you do. Ask her, hey, do you know anyone who's planned to order or wanted to get something? She might know things that you don't know. Ask her, hey, if you could think of just 2 people on your party that you think might host a party, who do you think they would be? I've had people tell me, oh, none of my friends will host a party. And I in Messenger find out that several of her friends will host a party. So don't if she says no one's going to do it, don't assume that's true. But she might also have a really good beat on oh yeah, my friend Ashley, she would love this. She'd be really good at it. So then you have somewhere to start. If she says no one's going to do it, I just politely refuse that thought. And I just assume that somebody's going to do it because, when you're too dumb to doubt, you don't. So I just choose to be too dumb to doubt that I can get these bookings. And, if you have a party and no one buys anything and no one books, I just want you to know that I have been there and I've been there recently. So I don't know if I should share that with you because I'm the director, so I'm supposed to be the best at this, but I want you to know that because you're probably not doing anything wrong. It has a lot more to do with the people you're reaching out to than it does with you. Sometimes it is tweaking your script. Sometimes that's part of it. Sometimes it is, that we could have done something differently. Most of the time, it's just a weird, fluky party. And that's okay because it helps all of us be a little more relatable and have a little bit more perspective. If every party I ever had was perfect, I would have no tips to share with you. I'd be like, just do it. It's fine. I know a lot. I can work. If it's bad and it's happened to you in business and it's been hard, I've been there. And I would be a bad leader if I hadn't, because I don't know how to overcome anything or work you through anything if I didn't have it ever go poorly. So every time you have something like that happen, and sometimes I'll even write down a little note for myself about this wild, terrible thing that happened and go, no, somebody will need that. Somebody always needs it. Maybe it's in 8 months, maybe it'll be in 8 years, but somebody's going to need your story. So don't get too down if you have a really hard or bad, quote unquote party. And remember that it's a lot easier than digging a ditch. There's business. If you're going to give it some comparison, a bad party is a lot easier to me anyway than my 40 hours a week in an office where I almost fell asleep every afternoon because I was so bored. This is a one bad party in comparison, a lot easier than that. So keeping that perspective sometimes helps you, not be quite so down when it comes to those things. So I hope some of those helped. And if you do have questions or you're wanting help with tweaking your scripts or how to do things, please reach out. The easiest place to find me is on Voxer because that's where you can send me a voice message and I can listen to it when I have time and you can send it when you have time. And that just works a little bit better. And the other thing I love, oh, that's so true, Tracy, 1.5 hours versus 8 hours. I mean, it's a no-brainer to me. But the other thing I like about voice messages is they're it's a lot easier to know the intention behind what someone's saying, because you can lose so much in a text. An emoji only goes so far. So when you can send me a voice message and I can send it back, I feel like that helps more, because you can hear and I can hear, you know, both sides. So that would be my suggestion. If you have questions, Voxer's like hands down to me the easiest way. Plus you can replay messages, which I love, because sometimes I need to listen to something 2 or 3 times before I like totally understand the question or know how to answer, or, you know, whatever it is. So I like that. I just wanted to send it out there. I think all of you are in the Fearless Unit Voxer group. I do most of it privately. But that's just my last tip. But tonight, I asked Janine if she would share a little bit of inspiration with us, which I am so excited about. And she was more than happy to share. So I don't know what she has up her sleeve, but I know we're all going to leave very encouraged. So Janine, go ahead.
I hope so. Okay. So I actually picked out 3 verses that I thought were, pretty inspirational. So, and one is, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, which that is like, I just feel like we all know that verse, but you really just, wow, you can if you put your mind to it. And my parents had always said, you can do anything you want to do. And it's really true. The power of positivity and all that good stuff. And then, and also this is what made me bring up that verse today, is because Whitney had reached out and said something today about Mary Kay. If you think you can, you can. And if you think you can't, you can't. And I was like, wow, I guess I was thinking about doing that verse. And then there's another verse that says, if God be for you, who would be against you? And so it's like, you know what? We have someone who right there has our back 100% all the time. And so in this Mary Kay business, when you're having a rough day and you have your Mary Kay, buddies and all that, but really ultimately Jesus is our number one friend. And so, and what was the other one? Oh yeah. And that was the other thing. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. It's really important that we do that every day. Because we have to keep moving forward. And if we keep telling ourselves we can, and if we keep telling ourselves we're going to make it, we're going to get that car, we're going to, be director, we're going to do these things, it's going to happen. So I just encourage you all today to just know that every day you wake up is a new day, and new things are going to happen. And, before you know it, you're going to be sitting right where you were like, wow, how did I get here? And you did it because you worked hard. You put your mind to it and you said, I can. And so so I'm going to leave you with that today, that just so you can. There you go.
That was so good. Thank you for sharing. And that all of that was true. I'm not going to add to it because you don't need a second sermon, but that was pretty much a sermon. I really appreciate it. I need all of those reminders. They're renewing every day. So important. I'll be the first to admit I like to get right to business, but God first. And honestly, when we do that, everything else does come together. So when we have our priorities right, God really does bless that. So thank you, ladies, so much. I have really debated this in our mind. So we're just going to take a vote because it's our first meeting. Would you guys like to continue to close with the pink Cadillac attitude because it's tradition, or do you just want to end our meetings with inspiration? So all in favor of that pink Cadillac close, let me see your hands. Well, there we go. That is I can't show Nancy this recording now, you guys. It's got to stay in the family. Oh my gosh. I literally just died. Oh, we have that Camaro attitude. Rebecca is not wrong. You guys, I have to tell you this. I keep telling Josh, I'm like, I want to earn us a Camaro in our 20s. His 20s are over in September. So we got a deadline. I know. We don't have to have it, but we have to earn it by September. And I'm like, whoo, buddy. Okay. So that's where we're going to have that Camaro attitude, but we can just know it in our hearts, and we'll just close with inspiration for our meetings. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Well, hey, ladies, have a great night. If you have some guests for coffee and conversation, I'll see you at 7:15, and that one will be on the traditional link we've always used for Nancy. And I will see you guys a little bit later. So have a great Monday night. Bye.